On this episode of Going for Pro, we're putting on the wide body, so stay tuned. Everything changes. So as you can already tell, I cut into this wide body because I'm going to be molding it in. I'm going to be putting, fiberglass Bondo on it, and it is going to have, rivets in it also. They're kind of low, but we're going to mold it in, make it look good, and I'm going to show you on the other side of the car right now. So I have this wide body already kind of sitting up on there. It's not in the right spot. I'm not drilling the holes yet, or I'm about to actually, but I got to put up there, and we're going to be cutting off some sections like this around the gas cap, and then also, you know, this area also we're going to be trimming like about 1 inch out, so I can mold in with fiberglass Bondo, and also in this area and cutting off that piece. So I'm going to put you guys on time lapse, and I hope you enjoy. As you just saw, I just made a direct line that's easy to trace. So it's going to be easy to mold in. And I made holes or made Sharpie marks where I'm going to drill holes so I know where to line it back up. So now it's time to drill the holes on this thing. So when we're done, we know exactly where to line it up. So I just finished cutting this one up. It came out pretty good. Got a little hot, as you can tell right there. Plus there's some, that's fiberglass, so it came out pretty good, I would have to say. Cut off the edges because I don't want them to flake up when I'm trying to Bondo it on, and plus there's going to be adhesive around these parts right here to hold it on also. So now we're going to wipe both of these down. These are my fenders for the front, which are, you know, I'm just going to spray the backside also. Might as well when I have the time. And we're also going to do the hood over there, and then there's also another fender. I'm going to come back to y'all when I'm done with it. So I'm going to wipe them down and spray them, and I'll be right back with y'all. As you just saw from that edit, I sprayed everything down. I even got, you know, the back of my hood, and then also the wings and the flares, the back of them. The main reason why I'm doing this is so it won't get any water damage or anything like that. It's going to be a little bit more durable. It's epoxy primer, so it kind of seals it up, and that's what I needed to do. I know it's just fiberglass and it might not, you know, affect it, but just in case. And the wing, well, might as well throw it up there to use the paint. I did some of the roll cage also in the background, just to, again, use up all the paint. And that's where I'm going to stop today. I'll wake up tomorrow and we're going to be bolting those on. So see you tomorrow. So it is another day. and we're gonna get started on putting the wide body actually on. So I have it propped up here. I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen. Then there's gonna be a time lapse. So if you guys want to miss the time lapse, that's fine. Skip over it, but here you go. So I got all these holes drilled right there, and I re-drilled this hole down there that I said I wasn't going to drill because my buddy brought up a good point. I have this adhesion. It's for body parts. It's supposed to be sprayed on straight metal, but I'm going to have to take the risk and put it on here on non-metal, and I don't want to take the chance of rusting. So that's what the epoxy primer's for. It should adhere. I shouldn't have any issues. So I'm going to go along the edges on the actual wide body itself, along the edges, all the way through, except down here because it won't seal. So I'm going to put it all the way around here and fill in the main parts, like right here where the body's at. So right around these edges, right up here, along these, zigzag in a straight line. And a lot of this part right here, you know, further out and whatnot. So it actually adheres to it. Then I'm gonna rivet it on so it stays on there, and then let it sit for 30 minutes. And while it's sitting, I might as well do the other side and put the fiberglass Bondo on there so I can start sanding everything and prepping it for paint. So let's get to that. Enjoy the time lapse. So I'm trying something new. Hopefully this works. So in that first time lapse, you saw me spray it down with some tar and grease remover. It's supposed to take away all the grease from your fingers and whatnot that's on the actual, you know, car, and so it has more adhesion. And I also sanded it with like 800 grit, or I think it was like, or 80 grit actually. And then in this clip you see me actually like marking it with Sharpie, and that's just for me to know where to actually put the M3 adhesive, which you're probably gonna see in the next clip. But it's supposed to, you know, give me an idea on what side, you know, where it needs to be applied at and where to stop, so I don't waste it. If I was going to do this again, I would probably order 3 of the M3 adhesive on the vehicle, so I would have extra or spare, or I could, you know, put more on there to make it actually stick. So that's my reasoning behind this. So the wide body is officially on, and you're probably asking why there's so many rivets. Well, this thing has been heat cycled so many times. It's probably about, I want to say 4 or 5 years old, maybe 3 years old. We'll go 3 years old. And so and plus this body panel's been all messed up, so it's been heat cycled a couple times without being attached to a structure. So I got it on, and this side's practically the most wrinkless side. So I had to rivet every like 2 inches almost, or an inch really. But some of those are going to be removed, some of those are going to leave. I'm going to mold it on again, so it doesn't matter in the sense, but it's on there. I mean, this thing ain't going nowhere. I mean, there's no play. It's structure now. So I gotta let this sit for probably about an hour, but it'll give me enough time to work on that side, and then I can come back over here and start working on Bondo. The reason why I didn't time lapse it was, well, because I was in a rush and I didn't have enough time because it's so hot. I'm sweating so badly right now. It's probably 100 degrees just in the garage or more, but that means it's just going to cure a lot faster and everything else. So I'm going to let this be. I'm going to start working on the other side. So on this side right here, it's probably going to be, well, it is going to be a lot simpler. I mean, it's going to sit right where I want it to. And I won't need to put so many rivets in here. I'll probably have to put 2 more. and then remove them once they're officially in, or the setup rivets are on. The reason why I have to move so quickly is just due to the fact of, well, just the heat. It's curing everything so quickly. So I'm going to start working on this side, throw you guys on time lapse, and hopefully you guys see what I do. Oh, and also the red marks were Sharpie marks to let me know where the body actually is, so I can put the adhesive on there, the 3M adhesive that you saw, or you're gonna see, so I know where to cure it or where it's supposed to be at. So now let's get to it. So my camera decided to die. I forgot to charge it last night. But so I did a little bit of work. I had to sit and let this cure a little bit. So I drilled some of these out just because they stick up too high. I might drill a couple more, but I want to leave some of them in there. So just in case the sealer doesn't work, I don't have to tear up my body again and put it in there, or try to fix it and then repaint it. So you get it. So I started drilling out some of these rivets, and some of them came out good, and then some of them like broke through, which sucks because then I have to play with Bondo. Hopefully it sits, and it's a big headache. So I got both sides are done. I'm gonna have to sand this down right here because it did bubble up, and right here and right there, which is fine. I knew that was coming, but it ain't gonna be that much more work. It's just sanding it away. So this side's good too. I'm probably gonna drill out this one also. It's just a little bit too out there, and plus this one got a good glue on it. But I drilled some of these out. Got to drill out a couple more. I'm probably gonna drill out this one too, just because, well, it's gonna be hard to mold that in. So let's drill a couple more of these out, and then we're gonna start on fiberglass Bondo. So everything's now tack cloth and sanded. I sanded some of the extra parts because, well, I need to put some filler in there, glazing putty, and then this is going to get Bondo on it, fiberglass Bondo, which stinks, but it's going to be lighter, flexible, and da-da-da-da. It's going to work out better, in other words. Especially it's going on fiberglass, don't want to weigh this down. It's just, from my understanding, it's going to work better. It's not going on fiberglass car, but it's going on over fenders, which is going to mold in. So hopefully this all works. I think it will. That's what my research told me and whatnot. So it's done on both sides. Let me go over there. So it's done on both sides. Again, I had to sand some spots because I need to put some filler in there. Shouldn't have touched it, but let's get to putting fiberglass on. I'm going to put you guys on quick time lapse, and let's get this stuff done. So I just got done with sanding this down. It actually came out pretty good on both sides. I'm going to put Bondo on it now. The fiberglass is just a little bit too much, I think, and Bondo should smooth everything out. It's a little bit easy to handle, and so now I just need to wipe it down. But I sanded it down. I had some friends come over and they helped me sand it, so it actually came out perfect. And I mean, I'm just impressed on how it came out. So that side, that's how it looks right now. Gonna put some Bondo on it. Now let's jump over to the other side. Now the other side has you know, it actually came out better than that side. I thought that side was going to do better, right over there, but the passenger side came out actually pretty good. So I still need to wipe it down. I did sand it. The only parts that I really need to work on is this wavy part right here, and I need to put Bondo down here where it's wavy also, but I'm going to try and make it flat. So it's going pretty good. Another spot I need to probably work on is right here. There's a lip, and I just don't want water and air getting in there. So gonna work on that now, and then let it cure, and then sand it, and then sand a couple other things, and that's gonna be it. So after I was done sanding it, I went to bed. It was just my Bondo wasn't acting right, and I was having a couple other issues over here. So, but I did sand it, and it came out pretty good. You see a bunch of glazing putty on here because there's a bunch of holes because of the Bondo. But glazing putty should fix it. If not, more glazing putty, then it'll be fixed. But it actually came out pretty good. I'm actually surprised on how well it did. So this is about the final look of it, and it's pretty sturdy and it's on there. It's not going to shake or wiggle or whatnot. So I'm pretty happy with it. Gonna jump over to the other side, show you what I did. Glazing putty again. We got it all over the car, filling all those little cracks, holes, before we put primer on it. Epoxy primer to be exact. And one more thing on the driver's side, on the front, let me show you that. So I had to fill in right there with the glazing putty. It came out pretty good. I was surprised on how well it did. So I'm going to end up sanding that and getting it all prepped up, removing some of that Bondo right there, and it should come out decent. Again, this is a in shop or in garage DIY setup, so it's, for what it is, it's coming out great. A lot more work to do, but I think it'll all work out.
Invincible.